Alright everyone, welcome to a new YouTube video, and in today's video I basically want to be covering how you can build a 7-figure infrastructure for your online coaching business and a 7-figure team, right? So I'm basically going to be breaking down what it looks like for us internally at our company, which is doing $500K per month, and then also I'm actually going to be breaking down the exact team that I've built from 0 to 100K per month, and then also the exact team that I've had like at 500K per month and the changes that I've made. And also actually like some pitfalls that I see like a lot of my clients fall into before they come into like one of my programs, or just like kind of what I see in general happening within the coaching space. So very excited to dive into it. But with that being said, just a quick introduction in terms of who I am. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Bastian. I'm 23 years old and I'm the owner of millionaireconsulting.com and also appointmentsetter.com. And with Millionaire Consulting, we basically help aspiring and existing coaches start or grow to 6 or 7 figures online using organic marketing, appointment setters, and paid marketing. And then my second business is appointmentsetter.com, where we basically help people in 9 to 5 and begin entrepreneurs, get a guaranteed job placement and income, and they can pretty much do appointment setting for online businesses, and with that make 5 to 10K a month. So very excited to dive into it, guys. Thank you for being with me here today. So first thing that I want to break down is basically infrastructure, okay? And infrastructure can mean a lot of different things, but I'm gonna try to simplify it in just like a few elements that I'm gonna be covering here. So when we talk about, and I'm just gonna put the abbreviation here, infrastructure, so IS, we have a couple of things that go into this, right? So we've got two things. So at the top, we have a project management tool, okay? And then we have ops. So what we use for our project management tool at the top of our infrastructure, and really where the majority of like our foundations, are built up from, is ClickUp, right? So ClickUp is our project management tool, and in there we've basically have streamlined all of our departments, which is taking a lot of time. But pretty much so we have ClickUp. If you go to clickup.com, you can see what it is. And in there we've got our marketing department, our sales department, our delivery department, and basically every single department. And so when you go into those departments, you can see everything from the big picture to the nitty-gritty system, right? So we also have our client CRM in there and our sales CRM in there. And so we've pretty much got everything in there, right? Now, to be efficient day to day, we not only have ClickUp for everything, right? And to store everything and, have the team operate from within that ecosystem. We also have ops, right? So what I mean with ops is we basically have Slack, and on Slack, we basically have multiple channels. And so let me grab my phone real quickly so I can show you guys. And so on my phone, I've got Slack. I'll show it to you guys right now. And I've got multiple channels on there. So let me just put it this so you can see it. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so you can see we've got the canceled calls channel, we got the incoming payments channel. And so when our team members, pretty much our sales reps, make a sale, they go to incoming payments, you'll see the Stripe notification, and then from there, our EA will take it from there and onboard the person, and then the delivery team will take it after the onboarding, so it's all streamlined, right? So we got incoming payments. We've also got sales calls, so our setters can basically make sure that we pre-qualify the person, right? And that's essentially what ops serves for. Now, when it comes down to infrastructure, I'm also going to be covering something else that is very, very important, but not often talked about, okay? So that is the team. I'm just going to put SO. So the structure in an org chart, right? So basically the team structure that we had to hit our first 100K month was the following. So I had one delivery coach, right? So head coach. I had a client success manager, an EA, an appointment setter full-time, and a sales rep full-time, pretty much all of them full-time, and the rest I pretty much did, right? So I did the marketing, I did some warm-up calls, and I did everything that my team didn't do. But what you want to make sure you do is that you have all that noted down in an org chart, so you have a big picture overview of your team, because then with that, you can actually make sure that your team has a clear list of tasks to do, but most importantly, their list of responsibilities that they got to meet. So you make sure there's no gray area, right? Let's say you're scaling and you're unable to actually as the CEO further do the account receivables, then you don't want this to be left in a gray area and have no one responsible to it, because if no one is, then you are, right, as the business owner. And so it's very important to have a clear org chart and a team structure, okay? So up next, And it's the last thing. It's systems plus automations, right? So underneath our project management tool, right, and our ops. So when a sales call comes in, which is ops, we pretty much like have an appointments tracking sheet, and that would be like an example of a system, right? And it's all automated because when a sales call comes in, it goes into the Slack channel, and it pretty much like what happens is, we can see who booked the call. It gets tracked in the appointment tracking sheet, so we have like the whole overview and the big picture and all the data. But on Slack, it's more like the day-to-day operations, right? And so like that's how we've actually streamlined, all of our like parts that we have in the infrastructure. And so like, that is pretty much like what we have. So it's project management tool, it's ops, and we basically use Slack for ops. And then we have like, team structure, and you want to make sure you have like an org chart. So like it's really, really clear who you have in a team, what their tasks are, what their responsibilities are, and then underneath that, systems and automation. And this makes for the whole infrastructure that we use at beyondyourconsulting.com. And this is the big picture. Of course, it goes more into it. I haven't shown any visuals, but this is basically what it looks like. And so that is, what I recommend everyone does. Like find a project management tool you can use for you and your team, right? So like there's a clear overview of every department and what's happening, and everything is stored in one place, and you've got one ecosystem. Second, make sure you don't just have like a big project management tool, but also you've got something for day-to-day operations that's automated, efficient, and makes your team operate faster and creates a good overview, so there's good alignment and also autonomy within the team. Second, you want to make sure that, and this is actually what I was going to talk about too, is that you don't have like this team structure, which actually ties into what I want to cover right now. And I'll put it like right here. So kind of like the team that I had, and also what it grown to, like when I hit 500K a month. So 100K team. Yep, perfect. Okay, so pretty much what it was I had a setter, right, full time. I had a rep full time, and I had a CSM. I had an EA, and lastly, I had a HC, so head coach. So I had an appointment setter, sales rep full time, all of them full time, client success manager, executive assistant, head coach. All right. And that's the exact team structure that I used to hit my first 100K month. Now, when I scaled to 500K per month, right? Because basically what our growth looked like was this from Under Consulting. So October 2020, we hit 100K cash in our first month. November 2020, we hit 110K. December 85, we took a little bit of a dip. January 91K. February 160, right? And then what happened there was the following. We now got another rep, and we got another setter, right? And then in March, we hit 240K. And then pretty much what happened there, we took on like another coach, right? To make sure we can actually deliver. So we took on another, we just call like accountability coach. And then pretty much, we kept that whole team all the way up to 500K a month, right? So in April, we did pretty much so March 240, April 330, May 430K, and then June we hit 500K. It's all cash collected, right? So that's pretty much like what my team structures look like. And now what I see a lot of people do is the following, right? So this is what I, by the way, like really recommend to everyone that like aspires to like kind of, structure the business that I have and the profit margins we have, like follow this. If you don't, you've got other aspirations, your business is different, right? And for everyone's gonna be really different, because at the end of the day, like if you have more delivery than what I do, for example, like it's more delivery heavy, you're gonna need more coaches. Like if you push a lot of volume, you're gonna need more reps, but this is what I use, right? So when it comes down to like what I see people do is they hire part-time people, like a part-time coach or like a part-time setter or a weekend sales rep. And what happens is that it creates a disconnect in the team. It creates a disconnect because, when someone's only available for 2 days, they're not gonna take it as seriously. Now, I don't wanna generalize everyone, but this is what I've seen. Not only that, it actually makes your infrastructure and your team just more complex by having all these team members that are partially committed. And ultimately really what you want to strive for is to have someone in a full-time role so they can really give it their all. And your payroll will be less, your team members will be more motivated and more hungry when they're actually full-time and fully committed. And with that, you're gonna just have, a more simple infrastructure, which is really important to have and maintain as you scale, right? So guys, I hope you found this valuable so far. So pretty much what we covered was infrastructure, what it looks like for us, the team that I used to scale to 100 grand a month, and also what I kind of like added along the way as a scale to 500K a month. And this is like really what it has looked like for us. So when it comes down to any other takeaways that I can share with you, I'll be most likely saving that for the next video. But today, this was really like, how to build a 7-figure infrastructure, how to build a 7-figure team. And yeah, that's really the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.